Hello, Broncos country. Today, we have exciting news straight from the NFL draft universe, something that will make every Denver Broncos fan's heart race. We're going to talk about Colston Loveland, the talented tight end from the University of Michigan, and why he might be the missing piece in our offense. This content is made just for you, passionate fans, so get ready for a complete, rich, and informative analysis that will keep you hooked from start to finish. Let's dive deep into Loveland's profile, what makes him special, and how he could transform the Denver Broncos. And of course, I want to hear from you in the comments. After all, we're a family here in Broncos country. First, let's get to know the protagonist of this story. Colston Loveland is a 6'5", 1.96 speed, 245-pound, 111-kilogram tight end who has been shining in college football with the Michigan Wolverines. Born in Goldendale, Washington, and raised in Gooding, Idaho, Loveland showed early on that he would be a name to remember. In high school, he was a standout athlete in both football and basketball, which explains his natural ability to catch high balls and his impressive coordination. When the time came to choose a university, Loveland was a four-star recruit and the top player from the state of Idaho. He had offers from giants like Alabama, LSU, and Auburn, but he chose Michigan, a decision that proved to be the right one. In 3 seasons with the Wolverines, he accumulated 117 receptions, 466 yards, and 11 touchdowns. That's in an offense that prioritized the running game, making his numbers even more impressive. In 2023, he led the team in receptions in the national championship game won by Michigan. Now, that's what we call showing up at the right time, right? Broncos country. But what makes Loveland so special? Let's break down the scouting report to find out. Loveland isn't just any tight end. He's a complete player with a skill set that places him among the best at his position in the 2025 draft. Here's a detailed analysis of what he brings to the table. Loveland runs routes like a wide receiver. He's fluid, precise, and knows how to shake defenders. Whether lined up as a traditional tight end, in the slot, or even out wide, he can create separation against man coverage and find soft spots in zone coverage. This is music to the ears of Sean Payton, who loves versatility in the offense. His hands are out of this world. It's like the ball just sticks to them. With an enormous catch radius, he grabs tough passes and turns difficult plays into easy gains. Over 3 years at Michigan, he had just 9 drops. Reliability is the name of the game, and Loveland has that in spades. At 6'5" and 245 pounds, Loveland moves like a player much smaller than he is. He has excellent body control, adjusts to the ball in the air, and is tough to bring down after the catch. He may not be the fastest, but he has enough agility to exploit the middle of the field and make defenses pay for any lapse in coverage. Here's a point of concern. Loveland isn't the most physical blocker, something he'll need to improve in the NFL. At Michigan, he was used more as a move tight end, moving around the field to create mismatches, rather than as a traditional blocker. It's not a huge problem, especially in a system like the Broncos, but it's something to work on. Loveland has an extremely high football IQ. He understands defenses, knows where to be, and has a natural instinct for the game. This made him a reliable target for Michigan's quarterbacks, even in an offense that didn't always prioritize the passing game. In summary, Loveland is a receiving machine with the potential to become a more complete tight end. But how does he fit with the Denver Broncos? Let's explore that now. Broncos country. Let's be honest, fans, the tight end position has been a weak spot for us lately. Adam Trotman, Nate Adkins, and Lucas Krull are working hard, but they haven't exactly lit up the passing game. Evan Engram came in to help, but at 30 years old and coming off an injury, he's not the long-term solution. That's where Colston Loveland comes in, and the fit with the Broncos is almost perfect. Sean Payton, our coach, loves having a joker in the offense, a player who can line up in various positions, create mismatches, and be a versatile weapon for quarterback Bo Nix. Loveland is exactly that. Here's why. He can play as a traditional tight end, in the slot, or even wide as a receiver. This is reminiscent of how Peyton used Jimmy Graham in New Orleans, or even Taysom Hill. Loveland brings this flexibility to the passing game at 6'5". He's too big for defensive backs and too fast for linebackers. In the middle of the field and in the red zone, he can be lethal. And let's face it, Broncos country, we need more touchdowns in the red zone, right? Bo Nix is still adjusting to the NFL, and having a tight end like Loveland could speed up that process. He's a security blanket, someone who gets open quickly and makes tough catches. Giving confidence to our young QB, Sean Payton's offense thrives on exploiting defensive weaknesses and creating mismatches. Loveland, with his ability to move around the field, is a perfect piece for this system. And the blocking? Yes, he needs to improve. But in Payton's system, he doesn't need to be a monster on the line of scrimmage. He can be used in a way that highlights his strengths while the team develops him as a blocker. What do you think, Broncos country? Would he be a starter right away, or a rotational player at first? Share your thoughts in the comments. It's not just me who's excited about Loveland. Here's what the analysts are saying. Lance Zierlein, NFL.com, a young, talented tight end with athletic and receiving skills to become a star. Loveland plays like a big, wide receiver, able to shake defenders and make plays at all levels of the field. Mel Kiper Jr., ESPN. He has the ability to separate, and his 6'5" size makes him tough to cover. Loveland would be Bo Nix's best friend in the passing game. Pro Football Focus. Loveland is like Brock Bowers from last year's class, a versatile tight end who can be a weapon in the middle of the field. Experts see him as a first-round talent, and many mock drafts have him going to the Broncos at pick 20. It makes sense, right? He fills a need and could be available when it's our turn. Do you think he's worth a first-round pick, Broncos country? Or would you prefer to focus on another position in the draft? Let me know. Now it's over to you, fans. What do you think of Colston Loveland? Is he the guy who will elevate our offense? Or do you think we need to prioritize another position, like offensive line or wide receiver? Drop your comments below. Let's get this debate going. And how about a little fun? If Loveland comes to Denver, what would his stat line be in his rookie season? My prediction, 50 receptions, 600 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Not bad for a rookie, right? What's your prediction? Comment below. We've come to the end, Broncos country, and what's clear is that Colston Loveland is one of the most exciting prospects in the 2025 draft. With his size, athleticism, and receiving ability, he has everything to shine in Sean Payton's system. Yes, his blocking needs some work, but his potential as a weapon in the passing game is undeniable. With the draft approaching, keep an eye on Loveland. He's recovering from shoulder surgery, but he should be ready for training camp, and the Broncos have already shown interest by meeting him at the Combine. Will he be the next big tight end in Denver? I think so, and I want to see you as excited as I am. Thank you for following along, Broncos country. Like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our draft coverage. And as always, let's go together. Go Broncos.